And Merritt's back with some good sense tips on getting healthy and staying healthy in the new year. Happy New Year, my girl.
Happy New Year.
It's good to see you as always.
Good to be here to kick off 2024.
Here we go. I mean, years and years and years in the making, and now we're still talking about these things because you never know when it's going to be the year that they do dial in to say, I'm really going to invest in my health. This is the year.
Exactly.
So what are some of the main issues that people need to deal with that we kind of, put on the back burner because we don't want to have to face them?
Well, I think I started off our list with wellness checks. And we all need them. We start off as infants and, they're closer together. They're like at milestone month markers in an infant's life, and then you tag in their immunizations along the way. But as adults, we can't lose sight of the fact that we need to be taking care of ourselves, just like we would be taking care of our children, our infants, our parents, whomever. So looking at that schedule of things, looking at everything from your eyes to just a general overall check with lab work. Second thing rolls into knowing your numbers. We talk about that from time to time too. But knowing what those lab results mean and where they're stacking up, and if you see changes from year to year, from one test to another, and what that might mean, and having those conversations with your provider. And going back to those wellness checks too, I think the thing I failed to mention was insurance coverage.
Well,
and that's
all
so
important,
over the spectrum for folks. Some have plans that cover many of the wellness type checks. Some don't have coverage at all, or it's very limited, or it has a very high deductible. So looking for and taking advantage, from time to time we try and highlight screenings and things that are offered free in the community, but looking for those opportunities. Hospitals have mobile mammography units that go out into the community to help the underserved and the undercovered. So things like that, and then knowing your numbers. And then from there, staying vaccinated, up to date on immunizations.
Yeah, and I mean, that's all good sense, really. And we've talked about knowing your numbers with diabetes, and certainly, but also with blood pressure. On the scales. And
heart disease. When we look at those know your numbers basics, the ABCs, of course, the A1C is that measurement of blood sugar over time that can be more telling around whether or not you are developing prediabetes or diabetes. But then the blood pressure and where that might be slowly creeping up, or maybe it takes a drastic jump from one year to the next. And then around your cholesterol. Those typically are those three main things that you're looking at. But within lab results, there can be other things going on depending on family histories or things that just pop up out of the blue. So taking care of yourself really works in your favor, knowing those types of things and being able to compare, pretty much have a baseline. If all is well and it's going well for several years, then maybe picking up on something relatively early.
And that was, I think, the most compelling thing for me, because I'm like everybody else, didn't want to go, didn't for years. But now they have a baseline to go, okay, this changed. This made a dramatic leap or whatever. Whether I like that or not is not the point. It is information I need.
Exactly.
And we all need in order to stop it in its tracks if possible, or at least slow it down. So good advice. Thank you, Merritt.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more lifestyles right after this. Stick around.